Greetings from the far side of the galaxy. I'm Fuuri, your host with the most, here to answer all of your questions. If you aren't in the know, a little while back I did an AMA post on my YouTube community page, link in the description, where you could ask questions and I would answer them. I thought it'd be a fun, easy thing where you could ask questions, I would answer them, it wouldn't even be a hard video to make, but fuck me, I was wrong. My original plan was to answer the questions while playing Cuphead. Every time I died, I'd answer a question. It was supposed to be all cool and stuff. But no, that couldn't happen. What changed the plans? Well, future me, why don't you go ahead and just play the fucking clip?
Like, being... fuck! About toxic self-esteem and kind of refusing to accept your failures to be really relatable, you know?
So yeah, that's not happening. Instead, you're getting this. It's like 3 AM Saturday morning, and I don't even have a fucking script, so you're just gonna have to deal with stutters and all. And that's enough of my bitching, so let's just get this AMA started. The first question we have is from Orion Perez. He asked, what games have you played before starting a Samo? And did playing a Samo incentivize you to play other mobile games? Well, I didn't really play any mobile games before Samo. Well, I suppose I did play Duel Links, but I don't really think that counts, does it? I actually stopped playing Duel Links around the same time Master Duel came out because, why would I play Duel Links? Master Duel is way better. As for the second part of the question, I suppose not Duel Links, not Master Duel, Samo. Yeah, I did start playing other, mobile games because of Samo. I got into, Soidrika? And then I think I, downloaded, Dislight, right when it came out. I'm also into, another Idols of Dragon's Vein R, but, okay, I say I play those 3 games, but, by play, I mean I open those games once a day and then immediately close them, so... I also tried to get into, Fate, but, I just couldn't do it. Our second question comes from a longtime subscriber, Milox the Hedgehog 1. He asked, do you plan to stick with Samo content, as in, this is what brings in the most views? Or do you plan to keep uploading the rest of your content to have variety? I suppose I plan to keep uploading a variety. Right now, I'm working on some Elden Ring content. The first of which is a challenge run using only these summon sword sorceries. I'll probably put on a clip to show you guys what I'm talking about. And the second one is going through all the furry characters in this game and giving it a rating. Hopefully that brings in some new audiences and also keeps my current audience's attention. So hope you guys enjoy it and look forward to that. The next part of Milox's question is, what taste do you have in a that's not a word. I'm guessing that's supposed to be a Samo? What taste do you have in Samo characters? And at least your top 5 to form a team with. I can't really say anything about a top 5, but I definitely always use Nightglow's Kurogane if I'm just doing some farming. If you put him with 2 wand units, he's basically unkillable, you can get through most of the game that way. And the final bit of his question reads, not a question, not a question, but still thanks for making content for this game and the community. Remember, always what matters is to have fun. I agree. Having fun is what matters, which is why I'm doing it like this instead of trying again to record it while playing a game. Maybe we'll do that some other time, but now's definitely not it. Our next question comes from GusGus1003. Very specific number. It says, I like the little green alien head that you use throughout your videos. Did you draw all of them yourself or did someone else do them for you? Someone else did them someone else did do them, but not for me. I found them on this one website, Wikipedia Commons, I think, where they have just a bunch of copyright-free material. These are actually just a series of alien emojis I just kind of found and they worked really well. Skycat666 asked, did you start to tune in on the works of an artist that works on Samo characters? And in turn, I can't read that. I haven't really actually tuned into many of the works of Samo artists just because their Twitter accounts are kind of hard to find. I know Ross has one, but I don't follow it, I think. I'm not really sure how many other of the artists have Twitter accounts. Our next ask comes from Jerbear. They asked, what are some of your favorite Samo characters and least favorite Samo characters and why? Some of my top 3 favorite Samo characters are Oz, Babylon, and then Licho in that order. I don't know why I like Oz. I just think he's like cute, I guess. I like Babylon because like she's always like the best character whenever she shows up, like completely steals the scene. No matter where or when it is. Like in like chapter 5 when she I think that actually be chapter 6. Yeah, no. What fucking well, in the chapter she crushed the Ikebukuro Berserkers, like her entire dealing with Claude was like just amazing. And in the Anvari like beachside event, summer beachside house, it's the one that Anvari's 5-star comes from. Like her entire interaction with Volos is like amazing. We stand a queen. And finally, I like Licho because like unlike like Babylon, who's kind of more like jokey, I like Licho because he's like very relatable. His like toxic sense of pride and like an inferiority complex around his work is like I suppose very relatable. The second part of his ask is favorite and least favorite events of those you've read. And do you read fanfiction about Samo from places like fanfiction.net, AO3, etc.? I don't really read fanfiction because like I just don't have the time to read, to be honest. Like I've been meaning to read more manga and just like regular books, but like I've been super busy like just working and getting videos out. Donate to my Patreon and Ko-fi, please. Shameless plug. So yeah, I'm not much one for like reading fanfiction. And my favorite events, let's go with Yangshi Night and the beachside Anvari something. I'll probably put it on screen. Mostly because one has Licho and Babylon in it, and the other has like Babylon's like best event moment. Like Oz hasn't been any events, let alone the main story, so we'll have to call a rain check on that one. I was reminded of this because we're talking about events. I'm actually switching from Sathokwa to Kathuga for the next Samo Heroes video because the Seaside Fashionista event might be making a comeback. So I'll just do the Sathokwa video if that does come back to get that like sweet SEO boost. Like right now I'm actually reading through a translation of the what is it called? Night Goes event. And honestly, the Night Goes event is weird but good. So look forward to that in the next Samo Heroes video. Our next question comes from Kusando, whose Avi is like, I want to say like Fenrir or Lieb, because I know it's a beast tamer, but like I know it's not them. Is it like a Q Sith? Or is that the cat? No, the cat is Kate Sith. I remember that because he's also in Final Fantasy. Okay, his avatar is Q Sith, and he asked, what is the character you like the most? Oh, I kind of already answered that, didn't I? And the one you hate the most from Samo. I suppose I'll just answer the second part, but I don't really hate any character from Samo. Like, Life on his writing is really good, so like even commonly hated characters like Daikoku, I think are actually like pretty cool. Like I honestly don't get how anyone could hate like any character from this game. They're all like super well written and they're just like great fun to like be around and listen to in the main story. Next up, we have Guilty Pleasure. That's a kind of funny pun. And he asked, if TAS was a fighting game, who would you main? I suppose that questions really depends on like who's in the game. Like, I love fighting games myself, and I always go for like characters who have stances and rekkas. So like Leo from Zerd or like Jubei from BlazBlue Central Fiction. You know, I actually made like this post a while back on like my Tumblr blog, and I also posted it to Reddit, like labbing out this like Samo fighting game. Was actually considering making like an entire video based around that like concept. Totally willing to do that if like there's enough of an audience for it. So if you want a video like that, why don't you go ahead and like tell me in the comments. Giamata asked, what other games are your favorites? I really like fighting games like Guilty Gear, but my favorite fighting game is actually BlazBlue Central Fiction, but I am also hot doo-doo garbage at that game, so Like in terms of single player games, I think like my favorite single player franchise is like The World Ends With You. It's this really great game series I actually plan to do a review on like way back when, like when the sequel Neo The World Ends With You first came out. I even have a script for it, but I just like never got to recording it. Might actually like bring that back and do like an actual review of the game if there's like demand for it too. I'm also open to making content about like BlazBlue and other fighting games if y'all want it. Up next, we have a question from Wolf Dragon Blood, and they asked, will you be checking out other Life Wonder games? Well, I do kind of actually want to get into other Life Wonder games, but like, the biggest problem is that they're just untranslated. Like, I really do want to play Live or Live a Hero, but like, I just can't read a damn thing in it. We may have just answered Wolf Dragon Blood's question, but that's not where this ends. You see, they're also they were the only person who donated to our Ko-fi, so they get a question I must answer. And the question they asked was, if you were a Samo unit, what world would you come from? You know, I'm like tempted to say Tokyo because like, that's already our world, and I mean like, that's where we already come from. But I have to pick like, you know, in like an actual world or gate or whatever they're called in game. I'd go with Heliopolis. No, just because we know nothing about that world, so it just seems like a good, fun, safe bet. Like, I actually kind of hope that one basketball transient is a character from Heliopolis, if only because it will actually give us some information about it. But if I have to pick like an actual world to like come from that we know stuff about, I'd go with the old ones. Like, out of all the options, that one just seems the least shitty. Nagasa Shiota asks, hang on, isn't that the name of the motherfucker from Assassination Classroom? Yeah, that's the name of the blue femboy from Assassination Classroom. It's a great manga that I'll hopefully finish one of these days. They asked, and I'm quoting verbatim here, first to Samo crush? I guess my first crush would be Kresnik, because he was the first 4-star I ever pulled. You know, are some of the units' pull rates actually weighted? Because I feel like everyone has Kresnik and Arsalan. They're just like super common for some reason. Chokichi Zoro asked, what kind of food do you like? Sweet, spicy, bitter, etc. I guess the kind of food I like the most is like umami, I suppose. Like, I actually really love Japanese food like ramen and sushi. There's actually a ramen and sushi place not too far from where I live, and I'm definitely going to get some after I finish recording all of this. Well, not after I finish recording. After I finish recording and then take a nap. Because it's like 7 a.m. on Sunday, and this video is supposed to be up by 12. I am losing my mind. Never mind that. Our final question comes from Oma Playmaker. There's this one manga I read called Kengan Ashura. The main protagonist in that is also called Oma. It's probably not a reference, but hey, it's something. Oma asked, what's your opinion about Garmir? Or Garmer, however you say his name. A question to be answered in his Asamo Hero video. But to actually answer that question, this might be this video's hot take, but I'm actually not that big of a fan of Garmir. Like, he's actually pretty cool at best, but sometimes he can actually be kind of annoying. I just find his whole animalish shtick to be kind of just grating. And you know what's really weird about it? In like the Igabukuro Christmas event, whatever it's called, I actually found him pretty cool, despite the fact that he was in that a lot. And yet, whenever he appears like as a one-off in like the story mode, I actually think he's kind of annoying. I guess that means Garmir would be like my least favorite character. I'm definitely going to catch a lot of shit for that. So that brings us to the end of our AMA. Thank you all for participating. After like 17 hours of uninterrupted consciousness, I can't think of a clever ending, so as always, this is Roast Fury signing out.